Hey everyone, this is Brian Holmes with the Strategic Living Podcast and BrianHolmes.com. You're listening to my great friend Stephanie O'Brien, and you are about to be moved by purpose.
As a leader, it's so important to walk in honor. You are responsible for creating a culture of honor. And as a leader, it is important to know. And by the way, if you don't have an official, quote, leadership title, you're still a leader. I personally think that everybody is a leader. You have the power to influence, motivate, inspire, and persuade people for the better of their life, of their work, of whatever it is. That is leadership.
Are you longing to know what your purpose is? Are you on the wrong career path? Do you feel like there must be more to life? Don't worry, there's hope. It's time to be moved by purpose. Now your host, Stephanie O'Brien.
Hey, welcome to the Moved by Purpose podcast. Today I'm actually doing a little bit different of a format here. I'm actually going to be doing a product review of something that I reviewed and studied, and it's really blessed me and benefited my life. It has done great things for me in regards to my relationships, into how I lead people, how I treat other people, and I really believe that this can benefit you as well. And it's called Foundations of Honor, and it has been produced by Danny Silk over at Living on Purpose. Now, I wrote a review on this too, so you can always read this if you want more information, but I'm going to be taking pieces from my blog and reading some of it. So if I sound kind of odd in my dialogue, I haven't really mastered being able to read without sounding like I'm reading, and so I apologize for that. So I'm just letting that disclaimer be up front in case you're like, why does she sound so weird today? That's why. So I'm going to start with saying that before I studied Danny Silk's Foundation of Honor program, I really thought I had a pretty good concept and understanding of what honor is and what it looks like. I really thought that honor consisted of the golden rule: do unto others as you would have done unto you. Treat others with dignity and respect. And those are certainly part of honor, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. And in his program, Foundations of Honor, he really unpacks the golden rule in a very practical, easy to comprehend, yet profound way. And he does this through interviewing some of Bethel Church in Redding, California, most powerful leaders in ministry. Now, that church has it going on. They are doing so many things right, and there's a lot of ministries branched off through that one church, and I really love that community and those people and what they're doing, and have been blessed by everything that they're doing over there. So I highly recommend you check out Bethel Church and check out Danny Silk's Foundation of Honor. In my own words, Foundation of Honor empowers you to walk out honor in your everyday interactions with others. I really believe that everyone should understand the true meaning of honor because of these three principles. First principle is that honor produces trust. And it's really hard to trust someone that doesn't honor you, right? I feel like trust and honor go hand in hand. You trust someone that typically honors you. If you've ever had a supervisor that's a really great leader in your life, or it doesn't even have to be a supervisor, let's just think of a leader in your life, but you trust them a lot, it's typically because they honor you. Now, if you reverse this scenario and think of someone that you don't really trust, and more times than not is because they don't treat you with honor. Maybe they're hypocritical. They expect things from you that they don't do themselves. They might publicly criticize you. They might not follow through on their word, but expect you to follow through on yours. Things like that, where they're treating others or yourself dishonorably, it's pretty hard to trust them. And as a leader, it's so important to walk in honor. You are responsible for creating a culture of honor. And as a leader, it is important to know, and by the way, if you don't have an official, quote, leadership title, you're still a leader. I personally think that everybody is a leader. You have the power to influence, motivate, inspire, and persuade people for the better of their life, of their work, of whatever it is. That is leadership, in my definition. But it's important here, I hear this a lot, that people will say, well, why would I give them any respect when they're not respecting me? And in my interview with Danny Silk that I did a while ago, and if you haven't heard it yet, go check it out. You got to go to movedbypurpose.net, plug Danny Silk's name in the search bar on the bottom of the website, and his interview will pop right up. In there we discussed how somebody else's respect, and whether they give it or not, really has little to do with how you're going to respect others and give it or not. That your honor, your respect, your love is just that. It's yours, and you are responsible for giving it away. It is especially honorable, truly honor. It's true honor when you give honor even when it is not received. So even when people are hypocritical in their conduct, that should not determine if whether or not you decide to walk in honor. Follow through on your word anyway, even when the other person does not. This is true honor. And remember, if you are in a leadership position in any form, which that is you who was listening, you need to model what you expect from others. You are responsible for establishing or building a culture of honor in your realm of influence. So I just know I said that. I'm saying it again. It's an important point to get across. The second principle is that honor promotes responsibility. This is where we're going to talk about confrontation. And Danny Silk and Foundations of Honor goes pretty heavy into confrontation and how to confront with honor and love, and how we need feedback, and how feedback and confrontation is very healthy for a prospering relationship. Confrontation is typically not thought of in a positive light. People almost get defensive right away when they hear, I will confront that with them. It's just thought of as more of an aggressive, adversarial, tense, disrespectful thing, but that is not the case at all. So if the word confrontation has a lot of negative affiliations associated with it, think of it as a conversation with valuable feedback. So it's feedback. Feedback is good. Feedback is healthy. Feedback improves you and the business and the relationship and pretty much everything around you. But there is a way to do it, and it's especially tricky when the other party isn't necessarily receiving your feedback too well. And he goes into how to handle that well when the other party isn't receiving it well in his program. But the thing about honor promoting responsibility is that these conversations, or these conversations where valuable feedback is given, all parties are empowered to take responsibility for their part of the situation. They're given the opportunity to adjust where it's needed, and then to give their thought and own feedback as well, so both parties can adjust attitudes, actions, behaviors, and it's actually very empowering and freeing. So it gives everyone the opportunity to experience that freedom and to improve the situation. And so it ultimately promotes responsibility. Everybody taking responsibility for their own actions, attitudes, behaviors, whatever. And when you take responsibility, there's also freedom. And that brings me to my third principle. The third principle is that honor protects freedom. So when trust is established, that was the first principle of honor, is that it produces trust. The second principle is that honor promotes responsibility. And the third principle of honor is that it protects freedom. When people feel safe and they trust you and they take responsibility for their actions, as well as they confront the behavior of others when they feel dishonored, there's so much liberty and freedom in that environment. It's thriving, it's healthy, it's growing. And when everyone treats others with honor, there is a great freedom present. A culture of honor allows freedom to reign. Sometimes in their freedom, people may not choose to adjust. And I already talked about that earlier. They may choose to become defiant, disrespectful, rebellious. And honor protects that person's freedom to choose that, but it will not allow it to continue in the workplace or home or whatever environment you're in. Boundaries are important to establish in these situations. And having a clear understanding of what you will tolerate and what you won't is so important when you're entering these conversations or confrontations. If the person abuses their freedom, then consequences must be set and followed through. Danny dives into this pretty deep in Foundations of Honor, and this is highly recommended because a lot of people don't know what to do in situations like this, because some people feel like establishing consequences means that you're dishonoring somebody or punishing somebody, and that is not the case. And for more information on how to set boundaries and consequences, I recommend 2 books: Boundaries by Cloud and Townsend and Necessary Ending by Dr. Henry Cloud, same guy who wrote Boundaries. And once again, it's also unpacked in Foundations of Honor. So those are the 3 resources. If this is a big area that needs massive work in your life, I recommend all 3 of those. And I just really see that your life transforming, your work getting better, relationships improving, and you're just walking in so much freedom and health, and everybody is just honored and respected, and it's beautiful. So, to wrap things up, I believe everyone could significantly benefit from studying Foundations of Honor. And by understanding the true meaning of honor, you will create a culture of honor in your realm of influence. To build a stronger team, home, marriage, honor is such a critical part of it. And when everyone understands the true meaning of honor because of these 3 principles, that honor produces trust, honor promotes responsibility, and honor protects freedom, everyone wins. So if you like this value, and if you're getting any value from this podcast at all, I think I said if you like this value. So what I meant by that is if you like this podcast and you're getting any value from it at all, I would love for you to subscribe it, rate it, share it with your friends or family, spread the word, let people know about it. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure that if you are not part of the Moved by Purpose newsletter, you need to go over to movedbypurpose.net, N-E-T, not, movedbypurpose.net, and sign up for the newsletter. You get a Freedom from Fear manifesto where you learn to kick fear where it hurts and allow you to get significant breakthroughs in your life if you feel stuck and buried by fear. So you get that for free anyway. In addition, if you let me know by March 15th how this podcast or the website or whatever has benefited your life, if you've seen success, if it helps encourage you, I want to hear your success story. I want to hear how it's helping you. If you have a question, an area that you still need help in, you can write your question or struggle or scenario situation in to me at Stephanie@movedbypurpose.net, or you can just fill out the contact form right on the website. Let me know, anyone who gives me a success story or writes a question by March 15th is qualified to get will get a free coaching session with me, and then will be entered in to win a free coaching package. And my packages start, I think the cheapest one is $297, but I'm thinking of doing the big grand giveaway of 12 sessions. So I would take this opportunity. So don't delay, act now, take full advantage of it by March 15th. And I will talk to you all next week. Somebody else's respect and whether they give it or not really has little to do with how you're going to respect others and give it or not. That your honor, your respect, your love is just that. It's yours, and you are responsible for giving it away. It is especially honorable, truly honor. It's true honor when you give honor even when it is not received. So even when people are hypocritical in their conduct, that should not determine if whether or not you decide to walk in honor. Follow through on your word anyway, even when the other person does not. This is true honor.